Walter Lewis. I'm with the Knowledge Ontario or Alouette Canada project, depending on which way you want to look at it, and I have a dark screen still. Let's give it one more shot here.
Is that microphone on, Walt? Done. Yeah, it is.
Okay. This is really boring without any kind of visuals, so I'm going to talk about it. I've seen the light per second. Okay. One of the things that I showed you very briefly, for those of you that the solar exercise yesterday, was a bit of the Our Ontario search portal piece. This is an example of a search for, and this is sort of as a response to Eric, who had one of his tags was lighthouses there, and I was thinking about some of my colleagues back in the Great Lakes area like Oswego who have a honking great amount of snow, unlike what we have around here. So I did a search here on Oswego lighthouses and came up with a number of things. The title of this is Location, 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 and the first issue in all of this, or the key issue in all of this, is to try and fasten on something like location. And the challenge we have sometimes in getting location information into the metadata in useful kinds of ways. So let me just jump back over to the metadata editor piece. And what we have here is a couple of things that you'll see off the top. First of all, down in the bottom left, what you see is data or a link to data that has been derived from the US Gazetteer. So it is linked to the Gazetteer. The Gazetteer knows things about location. It knows a point, typically. The Gazetteer is not very good at polygons, but it is pretty good at central point. So from that, when we go, and there's lots of metadata in here. In fact, one of the things we have in this is if you go and for a given agency that's using stuff, you pick what places make most sense to you, so you can have a quick checklist of these things. And the toilet paper roll we have here is due for redesign as soon as I get back. And out of this, we can pick Oswego out of a scriptaculous exercise. It's about 400,000 place names in this particular data set that we can pick from. Once we've done that, we know approximately where we are in the place, but we have, and this is sort of the first round of location, we have something here that by itself we might be able to do some kind of hierarchical faceting with, because we know United States, we know the state of New York, we know Oswego. This may take us some direction in what we go, although what you saw in the faceting on the other side is simply the simple value of Oswego here, because we were in fact doing it at a simple level here, and we didn't throw these in. There are options here to do things with faceting at multiple levels. The second thing we did, though, was at the point that we picked a place on the globe to start with and started with some lat longs in this particular interface, what we've done is said, okay, we know that lat long, let's do some stuff with Google here, and I can move this around. And as I move that around and recenter it, what it will do way down in the geography stuff here that will be on its own page shortly is it will in fact have changed the latitude and longitude values that are in the search form. So for a user that knows nothing about geography but knows how to point and click on a Google map, that kind of interface can help. And that's really cool when you turn around and do search results. You can then plot the Oswego on the chart, and if we go and take a picture, an individual object, and we go to it, we can then see the Google map here arrive. And in this particular case, here we are sitting out on the edge of the, I didn't update that, so we're still out on the edge of the pier. And what we have sitting down here is the first and one and only time that I have yet found where Flash did anything other than truly and fundamentally irritate me. And some of you may have seen Zoomify. Zoomify, for me, is those things that have no real geographic coordinates. This looks like a map, but it's really an XY set of coordinates that is a picture. And so what we can do with this particular thing, and Zoomify, underlying it is just a collection of JPEGs in a particular pattern. So nobody has, to my knowledge, open sourced a good AJAX interface to this, so I'm condemned to using Flash for this, at least if for nothing else. But I can call a particular zoom level and a particular offset to that, so that, and it isn't in the data management interface here, but it does make it possible for us to take historic things that aren't orthorectified that don't know where they are latitude and longitude, who really are sketch maps and other kinds of things like that, and get people to a specific point on it that relates to other metadata. Location, the gazetteer, location, Google Maps, location, inside pictures at certain levels that make sense to people, and I have 30 seconds left for a question.
Get the next person up.
Okay.